meet Ryan yet?
I have met Ryan.
Good. Okay.
He's a great guy.
He's
Ryan
good.
And I
He's
speak
bigger.
very
He's bigger
similar
than
language.
life. Yeah.
I'm a big personality. He makes me look kind of small.
He's definitely.
And he's taller than I thought too. It's funny because I came from the
everybody's tall.
I came from the Eklund Gomes team.
And welcome back to Off Market. Today we're going to talk about real estate and several things that are happening behind the scenes. I'm your host, Attilio Adamo. Today I'm excited to introduce someone who's been a major addition to our team at the Adamo Group for the last few months, Jason Naggiar.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
It's my pleasure. I've been waiting for this. Jason is has 15 years in the industry, a veteran in background in finance, Nomura Securities, and Tishman Speyer as one of the most respectable real estate firms in the country. He has closed over $400 million in sales. Kudos.
Thank you.
Love that. Let's continue. So there's a couple of tongue-twisted names, so bear with me. Represented by some of Manhattan's top developers, Silverstein Properties, I got that one, the Elad Group, Lenny, and here goes, Sumada Khurana. All right, we got that. Asmuth Development Group.
Correct.
And he's known for his data-driven and analytical approach to deals. A New Jersey native who spent nearly his whole life in and out of New York City, and Jason knows Manhattan like he knows the back of his backyard. Well, when he's not analyzing deals, he's playing golf. How's your golf swing?
We're getting there. A lot of work.
Okay. Playing tennis and basketball. Very active, and spending time with his wife Michelle and Jason Noah, who I've yet to meet. I can't wait for that.
He's excited to come.
So,
to
Jason,
office.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's kick things off at the Adamo Group. Jason, what is your deal? Tell us who you are, how you got here, and what drives you to this business.
Sure thing. So I am 42 years old. I've been working in real estate since 2008, and I joined the residential side of real estate.
Hold on a second.
Just redo. Also, both you guys pushed back a good amount.
Oh, I did.
Let's move up a little bit.
Man, you're so
Hold on, you're
sensitive.
good. Move to your left to tell you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, there you go. Perfect.
Okay.
Let's just pick off from.
What's your deal? Okay.
What's your deal?
Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we're going to kick off. Let's kick things off the off-market way. Okay, ready? Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to kick things off the off-market way. What's your deal?
So my deal is that I've been doing business in Manhattan for almost 20 years now, and I've decided to expand business into New Jersey, where I've been residing with my family since 2020.
Where were you before New Jersey?
I lived in Manhattan.
So you were born in Manhattan?
I was not born in Manhattan. I was actually born in Rockland County, New York.
Oh, so you've been in New York from day one?
I grew up in New York, and as soon as I was done with college, I moved into Manhattan the week after I was done. So
like every college kid's dream.
Exactly like the dream. I moved into a small 2-bedroom apartment with a good friend of mine from college, and we lived on 29th Street and 3rd Avenue in the Biltmore, which is an Ogden Cap property rental building.
Very nice. You had fun?
I had a lot of fun,
All right, so you grew up, you got married, children, a child, and what made you go to New Jersey, suburbia?
So it became a point where we were in Manhattan, and growing up in the suburbs, I always envisioned a lifestyle for my son of playing lots of sports outside, running around in the backyard, and I was fortunate enough to grow up in a great neighborhood with great friends, great parents, and I had a vision of that, and I wanted to kind of transcend that down onto my son. We were on the fence about leaving Manhattan because Manhattan is always home to me. But in the end, we felt that New Jersey really offered us an optimal place for our lifestyle to raise our son.
I always say that living in New Jersey, especially closer to the bridge, the Bergen County area, you really have the best of both worlds. You have suburbia lifestyle, and yet you still have the Manhattan lifestyle, the nightlife, the entertainment, minutes, one bridge, and you're there, you have fun, and you're back home again in suburbia. Is that what you're feeling?
100%. And you know what? It's less of an impact than I thought it was going to be initially. When I moved out of the city, some of my initial fears were, am I going to miss going to some of my favorite restaurants? Am I going to miss some of the culture of seeing the best museums and the best parks in the country or even in the world, because that's what New York City is.
I agree.
It really is
New
the
York
best
City
city in the world.
It's a fun place.
It's awesome. And what I noticed is that sometimes especially in Bergen County, you can get to these places in your car faster than you can going from the Upper East Side to Tribeca in Manhattan. So while there's a little extra time on the commute hours, I've found that the transition was not as impactful as I anticipated.
I'm glad. And I agree. And I think one of the upside that, for me, it makes a big impact, and you might agree at this point, you get into your car, you can drive whatever you want. Like, I don't understand or get mass transportation. I've been privileged that I'd have to rely on it, and I think for me to give up driving will be a difficult task. Isn't that like really an amazing thing? You just can drive whatever you want. You don't still use transportation, do you?
When I'm in the city, I do use it, especially if I'm bopping around from uptown to downtown. I find that the mass transit in New York City is as good as it can get in the country. But when you do compare it to getting in the comfort of your own
so
car,
much easier, yeah.
Listening to your own music, having the temperature the way you want, it's a great privilege to have.
A lot of
what
upsides,
I can
yeah.
say, though, is New Jersey, over the last 5 years, and kudos to the towns here, they've done a fantastic job of really hedging and bringing that suburban lifestyle and city lifestyle. I don't even want to call it suburbia anymore.
No, but the culture is, you're right. It's more
It's
a little urban.
city
would you
quality
say?
restaurants.
Yeah.
You don't have the density that you do in Manhattan, but city quality restaurants, city quality. I can't say education, so we got to cut that. City quality restaurants.
You can say education in New Jersey.
Yeah, but I can't reference it to Manhattan. But,
Okay.
So city quality restaurants, and lifestyle amenities is the biggest thing that people were lacking in New Jersey that it now offers. So having a gym around the corner, having a health spa around the corner. Now all the things that people felt you always had to go into Manhattan for, it's available to you in New Jersey.
You know what? I think it was always there. Maybe not in many options, but we always had the gyms and the restaurants and the quality. But you have more options in New York City, and you have the vibe. I get that, but at the end of the day, really what it is? You're a little older. You see things a little different. Been there, done now. Let's move on to the next stage. That's my take. Anyway, so I have a bunch of questions
Let's do
here
it.
to ask you. So, transition, background, and career evolution. Let's dive into it a bit more because you've had a really unique start in finance and development, high-level brokerage. How did those roles shape the way you look at the deals today in real estate?
Of course.
Your background, college, business, education, all of that come into play.
Sure. So when I got out of college, I started at a firm called Nomura Securities. It's a Japanese brokerage, and I worked at junior trade support, servicing the international program trading desk. I did that for about 3 years before the financial collapse of 2008, and then switched career paths and did financial accounting for Tishman Speyer Properties in Rockefeller Center. Over a career of about 6 years, that developed into the director of accounting at Rockefeller Center, primarily focusing on NBC facilities. And that career path while it was very rewarding in education and finance, I felt a little boxed in. I was in a beautiful office on 6th Avenue, on 50th Street, overlooking the McGraw-Hill buildings. But I missed the relationships I was having with people. I was able to use my analytical skills in delivering reports and financials to management, but I didn't interact with people. I was in a closed-door office all day, and it was something that was missing from my work life that was starting to transition in a negative way to my personal life. And I was fortunate enough to have some exposure to the real estate industry, and I started getting this intuition that residential real estate was really where my career was supposed to go.
So let me ask you, at the point of the financial collapse, how old were you? What stage in your life? Were you single at the time or married?
I've been dating my wife for about a year, and I was 24 years old.
Okay, so we're young. The reason why I'm asking, your emotional roller coaster you must have been going through. You were like, what the heck is going on? And your world's coming down. What am I going to do? Like, what was going through your head? What was there? Fear? Was there anxiety?
It wasn't fear. It was. I've always been
because you're still a young man. You still had to figure it out.
Of course, it's always kind of the way that I attack sales. I'm aggressive in my sales. I'm very aggressive for my clients, and I'm also aggressive for myself and for my family. And when the financial collapse happened, I was really in this kind of box where I felt that I couldn't advance my career in the path and place that I was at the time, because the financial sector just really reduced its workforce by almost 40% in the United States. And I looked at that as an opportunity, as a fortunate opportunity, that I could try to transition into something else that felt a little bit more fulfilling.
Did you at that also have a thought, a process of that when I was going on, when you chose to leave the finance role into real estate, no salary, commission based only, where if you have the salary, it's security, it's safe, pay your bills, but you can only go so far with that in salary, where if you're on a commission base, completely on commission base, you're not making any money, you're going to starve a little bit, you work from check to check, but you have unlimited levels of finance you could earn in earnings. Did that ever cross your mind?
It did cross my mind, and it was definitely from a place of privilege that I saved enough money in my early career that I was able to make a transition like that and take the risk. But I also had belief in myself. I know that I work my ass off, and I know that some people have a bad stigma about the real estate industry because, Attilio, let's be honest, 75% of the brokers out there, they don't do shit.
I know.
They really don't work. And then
Feel free
they
to speak
wonder
your mind.
and then they wonder why they don't make any money, or they're not successful, or they're not getting more clients.
You know, from the time I think that sometimes we make it look easy. People see what we do and they see it on Instagram and the social media platforms, and we're having fun, but they don't realize all the hours and the time we put behind
100%.
that we put just behind the scenes. And honestly, if you take a transaction that you worked on 6, 8, 9 months and put the time, calculated all the hours that you put into it, at the end of that day, at that transaction, you're probably behind. You know, you would have been paid more on salary.
I have a better one for you. How about 3.5 years on a $2,500 a month rental? Now, like as I mentioned before,
You have a lot of patience.
I'm very analytical, so I track everything. I know every expense dollar I have. I know every earning dollar I have. I was at a negative with transportation, time, meals, coffee
Sure.
of almost $15,000. But that's how I treat my clients. So I work my ass off very hard for a $3,000 a month renter.
And your results
yes,
shows for itself.
sometimes you get lucky and you put a $10 million home on the market and it sells the first week. But
Well, let's back up. You're never lucky. You earned it. You worked it. You were creative.
Correct.
You negotiated that transaction. You brokered the transaction. Don't ever say luck,
me
because
rephrase
I
that.
despise that when people refer to us. Oh, they're so lucky. He makes that money. He sold that house. You make your own luck.
Let me rephrase that for you. There are some deals that you do at high price points that hit the market for the right buyer at the right time and can close within 2 weeks. And there are times where you're working with someone for 3 years for a minimal amount of income, but the underlying tone that we want to give to everybody is that regardless of the price point you're at, whether you're a buyer or a renter, there's a level of service and a level of care
Exactly.
that
Correct.
all real estate shoppers deserve.
Knowledge, expertise, the value
That's
you
it.
bring, the value that we all bring.
And that
Especially-
$3,000 renter is likely going to be the person that refers you the $5 million seller further down the line in your career.
That's the next thing I wanted to tap into. So you are nourishing the relationship. You have to suck it up, do the $3,000, whatever it is, if it's 2 or 3 years. If you see, he's going to give you referrals, recommendations, a good review. All that has an amazing value to it. And a good agent who can pick that up and stick in the game and just suck it up and be patient, it's going to be rewarding in so many over and over and over in the future. But let's talk about one more. And if you haven't noticed, I enjoy my coffee. My guest enjoys his beer and his IPA. Is it?
It is.
Let's tell us a little bit about that.
I will.
A little
really,
sidetrack. and
really
then we're gonna
quickly.
Get back
So
into
this
real
is just
estate. Exactly.
a fortunate run-in that I have in my town. We have a few buddies who appreciate IPAs. Treehouse is what I consider arguably the best IPA brewery in the world.
Why?
The flavor. The
Good.
flavor profile, the different beers. And about once a year, one of us, we each take turns, we'll go up and load up the back of a car with thousands of dollars worth of this beer. So about 4 times a year, I get a nice shipment of some of the best beer in the world.
Is that the shipment you dropped off a while ago?
That is. That's
Good.
the treat I brought for everybody in the office because they don't sell it anywhere besides the breweries or locally in Massachusetts. So unless you're willing to make the drive up there,
So
you got to come see me.
After this podcast, I'll have a glass with you.
Yeah, and also you get a 4-pack when you close a deal with me.
Oh, there you go. I like that. What's the calorie intake for those that are counting
We're not going to talk
For
about
now?
the calorie
okay,
intake.
no calories. Again, because Mr. Analytical here. So let's talk about that. You're known for being extremely analytical. Where did the skill set come from? Was it the finance, development, or it's just who you are?
It's who I am. I grew up loving numbers, math. Fortunately, always came naturally to me, and it's been a privilege to be able to utilize that for my clients. I love numbers speak the truth a lot more than people do. And numbers are a very important part of real estate. They are not everything. Marketing is as important as the numbers are, but in real estate, numbers speak volumes.
Absolutely.
And I find that when you are very curated and have a very specific approach on how you relay that information and are consistent with it, you're able to give your clients a knowledge base that makes them make very informed decisions in their real estate process.
I always like to say, let your production make your noise for you. You don't have to go around telling people how wonderful you are. Your production speaks for itself. So, speaking of production, your numbers are impressive.
Thank you.
You've closed over $400 million in sales. And what span was that in your career?
Roughly
First
10 to
years?
12 years.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's absolutely amazing.
I've been privileged to be surrounded by some of the best brokers, mentored by some of the best brokers in the world.
And that's the next topic I'm going to talk about. But one lesson from your early New York City days that stuck with you. What's your takeaway, or any advice you can give to the people out there that are listening to you, that are watching you, that you're their mentor, you're going to inspire them? What could you say to them? You're a young guy. They're not going to want to hear from me. What's your takeaway, your one piece of advice that you want to give to the audience?
From the real estate industry, the biggest thing that I learned early: talk less, listen more.
I like that. I still haven't perfected that yet.
I'm a long way to go. I'd say I'm about 10% of the way there. You're
say,
further than I am.
I used to say, I'm shy, this and that. But at the end of the day, I don't know why I say that, because I do listen. But I guess it's my personality, and I like to I'm afraid I'm going to forget. So I want to just put it out there, and then I can come across as being, hey, this guy's got no patience. Shut up and wait a minute. But I don't mean to do it intentionally. So
I'm the same way, especially when it comes to real estate. I get so excited about it.
Exactly,
I'm anticipating and so eager to say what I'm going to say. Not that I'm not listening to you, but it's such a passion.
Your mind's going in so many different directions. I want to get it out there. I get it.
When I was a kid, I used to drive around with my friends in the quote-unquote nice neighborhoods because we wanted to check out the cool houses.
What
it's
neighborhoods?
always been in my bones.
What was a cool neighborhood growing up?
It's funny, now that
Rockland
we're in
County,
Rockland,
right?
so
Yeah.
I was in Rockland County. Our area that we used to drive around was when they just built the Rio Vista of Mahwah, which is funny because there's an elevated
that's New
version.
Jersey, for the record.
That is, right across the border. But
what's that, Suffern on the other
that's
side?
Rio Vista of Mahwah,
No,
New
but
Jersey. Suffern, New York, where I was
Suffern,
from.
and that's
Correct.
what I thought.
And then it's funny because there's a Rio Vista in Mahwah, and now I'm working with you in Rockley, and there's an elevated Rio Vista in Alpine, which is, in my opinion, maybe one of the best exclusive neighborhoods in the country.
Absolutely. And you just, when we launched our new listing, it's what you pretty just
I
came on board.
I don't even call that a house or a mansion. That's like a resort.
Okay, so let's talk about why you're here. So Victoria's not here to join us today, but you worked with Victoria, correct?
We did, yes.
So you guys go back a long way, and he's like, Dad, you got to meet this guy, Jason. He's really good, and he lives in Jersey, and he wants to do a transition, not completely leave New York, because we have our New York license. We have the Adamo Group that you're going to spearhead in Manhattan, and we're right over the border. So it was a win-win for us, and it's an honor and a pleasure to have someone like you to come and join us. So you're here, 3 months?
No, it's actually just 2 months.
2 months. Okay, we're having fun, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, time flies. So tell us about that transition. It had to be hard because you were used to getting up in your New Jersey residence, and I guess you had a different lifestyle schedule because you wouldn't go to Manhattan. You worked more from home and did your appointments in Manhattan. So now you're starting to transition a little into New Jersey, and I think a couple of comments you've made or observations you've had how things are so different in New Jersey versus New York. For example, an open house. you would do 1 hour. I'm like, what do you mean an hour? We're here for 3 hours. And, that was a little bit of a hurdle, I guess, in the beginning.
I wouldn't call it a hurdle, but there's definitely
a learning curve.
Expectations, learning curve on the way that things are done in New Jersey. Expectations from the client, stratosphere, everybody that's out there, what they want to see and what our clients want to see from our brokers. So, I like to consider myself a fast learner. I think I've been in the industry a long time, but what really happened was, I have a great New York City business. Like I said, my family's been in New Jersey, and I wanted to find some place where I could optimize and really capitalize on a pre-existing brand where I think my expansion is best suited. Now, I want to be clear. New York City is my home. That's where I love New York City, and I'm super excited to spearhead things for the Adamo Group.
It always feels good to go home.
Always feels good to go home. But I noticed that there was something missing from my clients. So when people talk New York City, they're always talking about the Hamptons, Long Island, Westchester. I grew up in Rockland, so I was exposed to New Jersey. New Jersey is nicer than all of them.
Say it a little louder.
It's nicer than all of them. Rolling hills.
New Jersey is misunderstood.
It's misunderstood because you fly into Newark and you see the very industrial complex. But you know what?
Those are the outskirts of Jersey.
But it's not even the outskirts. It's isolated. See, what Jersey did better is they put it all in one spot, so it's where you fly in on the airplane. But you go a few miles out and you get over the hills, or you get into the Northern Valley or into the Hudson Valley, and you see what's out there, and you don't believe that you're just mere miles outside of Manhattan. It feels like you are in the country.
We do. We have the lakes. I love the Jersey shores, the beaches. They're phenomenal. Depends which ones. Mountains, lakes, oceans. We have everything.
We do.
We really do the best, and we're so close to New York City. So I always feel like New York's in our backyard. That's our backyard. As New Jersey's to the backyard of Manhattanites, the Manhattan people. Because I know on the weekends, all the people in New York City want to leave. Where are they going? Upstate New York, New Jersey, the Jersey Shores. They're coming over. And we're going there during the week, right? On the weekends or whatever, to have fun.
And what about Hollywood 2.0? No one's talking about that.
Well,
there's
so funny.
billions of
just about to
dollars
say that.
coming into New Jersey to basically build a new Hollywood, which can be accessible for people to Manhattan on a C Street ferry in less than 45 minutes.
So Alpine was always a Hollywood section because people love to live at Alpine, the elite, the Hollywood people, and be in and out of New York City. But now Hollywood's coming to New Jersey. So I just read recently that in Bayonne, thousands of acres are going to be for studios. And I forget the other town, and then not to mention what Netflix is doing to New Jersey, bringing so much more traffic, so much more work. So it's just going to rebrand us back on the map.
We're on the map, but now we're getting on the map.
Right.
Celebrities are buying homes in Montclair.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alpine, Rockley, Summit, Livingston, New Jersey, Jersey Shore towns. We're seeing it everywhere. The numbers, we're going back to the numbers again. I don't have them off the top of my head, but the proof is in the pudding on what's happening in New Jersey. The year-over-year numbers compared to what's happening in neighborhood suburbs in terms of price growth.
Well, they're getting priced out of New York.
Well,
and even besides real estate, health, auto insurance, everything else, it's just that much more expensive.
But I'm not even comparing it to Manhattan. I'm talking about the other suburbs. So the only thing New Jersey was missing was the marketing, was the media. And now that we have that social ability to show people what we get to drive through every day, it's already blowing up. We're not there yet, but we're almost going to get there where it's going to almost be unattainable for people to get to.
Right. So as you know, Ryan's owning Manhattan. There's talks about owning New Jersey one day, but let's see.
Do you own New Jersey?
I think
you're you have to be a candidate. If we were going to vote for who owns New Jersey, you got to be on the ballot.
You never know, right? Anyway, so let's talk about your New York City experience. You represented some of the top developers in Manhattan, which is something fairly new in New Jersey, where more developers are taking properties and projects and land and doing high-rise and mid-rise. It's the New York fever, I like to call it. What's your one misconception that people have about Manhattan market?
My one misconception that people have about the Manhattan market.
You can take a minute.
Let me think.
You can come back.
Yeah, sure. No, the biggest misconception that people have about the Manhattan market is that you don't need a real estate broker.
Is that what they think?
Yes. A lot.
Who are these people? Who's thinking this?
So a lot of people out there don't even understand the economics of representation from a broker.
Side note, maybe because in Manhattan there is no MLS. You guys are just have your own exclusive listings, and you do. I know you have Street Easy,
which
is also owned by Zillow.
It's owned by Zillow, but it's kind of
that's a story for another day.
Yeah, it's totally
Okay. But you don't have we have a one place where all our listings do. You do, but you don't use it.
No, New York City
So
really is like
you have a million real estate companies in Manhattan, and everyone has their own inventory, maybe duplicate inventory for all we know. I don't know how it works. I'm always in 40 years, it's always been one MLS. All the inventory is in one place. It's a go-to place. The Bible. I think that would have made things a little easier if Manhattan had a Bible where everything just landed and everything was shared and co-broked and cooperative transactions.
I think that's where, I don't know if I'd call it a misconception, but the competitiveness in New York City with the volume of brokers that there is, unfortunately, the way that the systems are set up, if you are not aligned with a good broker in your corner, whether it be the buy side or the sell side, you're going to rely on a company like Zillow or Realtor.com. When you plug in that online inquiry, they're going to assign you someone. Now, that's like gambling. When you're making a transaction that could be, will most likely be one of the largest financial transactions of your life, do you want to be assigned a random broker who paid for a spot to be a number in line every 50 queries that come in? It gets fed to you. As
a buyer's agent, are we speaking about? Or
as a buyer's agent.
I agree.
Yes.
It's just like in New Jersey, do you want a part-time agent representing you who's got it in between work, or you want someone who's got full-time and experience who's dedicated to you?
So I think the misconception is that New York City real estate is easy to navigate and that it can be done alone. And the reality is that, and NAR numbers prove this, is that if you hire a broker and you hire the right broker, these numbers will be even better, you're going to have 18% more money back in your pocket. Whether it's the buy side or on the sell side. So you think about, right now we're in a new world where not all sellers are offering buyer broker commissions. Most of the good sellers, most sellers that understand the process realize that in order for them to market their property the best way, they should be offering incentive to the broker who is bringing you your client. But make sure when you're out there that you're hiring a broker that's representing your interest the best way so that you can navigate a complex market.
I picked up a listing. It was a high-end listing, like $6 million listing. And the broker, the homeowner, I'm not paying a buyer's agent. It was just the exact moment when all the hype came, and it was a year ago when a new transparency and buyer's contract came into effect across the country. And I said, "You're making a mistake." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, you don't have to pay a buyer's agent commission, but it's maybe in the near future it's going to be a default way of doing things, but right now we're in transition stage. It's huge. He wouldn't sign the paperwork, and I finally said, you know what? I'll do it your way. I'm going to say to be determined. Is that fair enough? If we get the right offer, then I'll ask you, if the agent is not being represented or the agent, there's no buyer commission, happening or something there. We don't want that to be a deal breaker. He took my advice. He signed up. I think within maybe 30, 60 days, I received a phone call from an agent. She wanted to show it. Number one question, because now you're supposed to ask, hey, are you paying the buyer's broker? It broke my heart to say, no, I'm not. I wouldn't say it. And I knew the agent for many years. I said, well, unfortunately, he doesn't think you should get paid, but I'll tell you what, you get me full price, I'll make sure I convince him to do it. She took a chance on what I had to say. I told the homeowner ahead of time before the first show, and he was okay with that. Sure enough, it all worked out great. We got full price. I got her full commission. Everybody was happy, and I think it was a learning curve for him. He understood. You have to be. You should have a beautiful home, but it's got to be more. It's got to be marketable, and offer an incentive to the agents out there to buzz. Because let's face it, it's the real estate agents that bring all the traffic.
There is so much work that we do behind the scenes
Exactly.
that people are not privy to. It's the event preparation. It's the marketing preparation. It's the graphic design. It's the video editing, the photography editing. It's analyzing your online viewership.
Day after day.
Every single day. And it's a privilege to be in this industry. And like I said, I'm just super excited to be able to translate what I've done in New York City. Again, coming from a place of privilege, I've worked with, the best of the best, been mentored by the best of the best, and excited to be mentored by the best of the best in New Jersey.
Well, thank you. So let's talk about that. You were on a top agent company.
The top, nationwide.
Team with Victoria as well, where she
Correct.
met you, and she had great stories, and she learned a lot. It's hard on you, I think. Actually, that's what inspired me to open up to start up a team in New Jersey, because teams that weren't happening in New Jersey. So when Victoria said, "Oh, Dad, I'm on his team," and Douglas Elliman, I'm like, "Well, how does that work?" So basically, it's like a company within a company. Do I see it? And I'm like, this is really the way of the future. So I had just sold my company in 2012, and I'm going to start up a team. And everyone was like, "What are you talking about? What's a team? What's a group?" So I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to call it a team. I'm going to call it a group, and I'm going to do this." I got a lot of pullback from the brokers and the people that bought my company and everyone around me, and that was back in 2012. Since then, every day everyone's calling themselves a team in a group. I laugh when I see one person call it the so team. They're one person, but they're capitalizing on the new way of doing real estate. It's the brand that you want to put out there. It's the image, the perception. Hey, you're not just hiring one person, you're hiring a whole team. So back to you. You want an amazing team, and when you came here, you at that point you were two brands, and we said it's best to be the same brand in New York and New Jersey. So you made the switch in Manhattan with the Adamo Group, SERHANT, powered by SERHANT, as well as here.
Correct.
And it makes a lot of sense. Tell us about that. How do you feel? Anything you want to say?
I feel
about
great. Obviously the part that I miss the most is the people. I made some great friends, both the people who led my team and the people that I worked with. Some of them are still there. Some of them have gone on to do their own things. But
life goes on, right?
Life goes on.
Yeah.
This was, for me, was exclusively about New Jersey.
Also a new journey.
This is a new journey. This is about an established business in New York City and expanding and establishing a new business with the power of SERHANT and the Adamo Group behind me.
Have you seen the benefits of being with the number one team franchise in Manhattan, as well as growing like leaps and bounds in New Jersey and across the country, actually, really?
100%. I mean, most of all, again, it's the connections. It's the people that you're in the room with by being part of a great organization or a great team within that
organization. Did you meet Ryan
organization.
yet?
I have met Ryan.
Good. Okay.
He's a great guy.
He's
Ryan
good.
and I
He's
speak
bigger.
very
He's bigger
similar
than
language.
life. Yeah.
I'm a big personality. He makes me look kind of small.
He's definitely
and he's taller than I thought too. It's funny because I came from the
everybody's tall.
I came from the Eklund Gomes team.
Everyone was tall on that team.
Frederick and Ryan.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of the way I grew up versus my college friends too. It's I joined the Eklund Gomes team and I'm with a bunch of 6'5", 6'4" Swedish guys. Ryan is 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he's
I'm 6'1". I'm not huge, but I'm not small. And it's funny. It's like all my college friends. I'm the tallest guy, or one of the taller guys. Everybody's smaller than me. But then all my friends from home, I'm the opposite. I'm the smaller one. It's like 5'11", 6 feet's the small guy. So, I don't know, just a funny point of
after
conversation.
5 feet,
Everybody
you
I'm
passed.
working with has always been taller, and now I'm with Attilio, and I'm finally taller than my boss.
Well, I think the height requirement is 5 feet. So
There we go.
all right. So you mentioned Frederick. I met him many times. Nice guy.
Awesome.
You left off.
John too.
John,
Awesome.
exactly. I meant to say John as well. You left on great terms. They totally understood the move. Victoria still keeps in touch with them and the people on that team. So it's nice to always have that door. Exactly.
Relationships, and that's really what it's about. You establish good relationships with everybody. You kill everybody with kindness, and you're most of all professional, because while we are here to have fun and go out for cocktails after and have all these amazing events that we throw in real estate, like, we're here to work. We're here to support ourselves, our families, whatever your initiative or charity may be in life.
Right.
And again, like, I've heard so many horror stories with people, so to be able to continue to evolve my career and keep elevating it at another level is just fantastic.
Well, we're excited to have you on our team, the value you bring to the team, and the future. New York City, New Jersey, migration and suburban hotspot. You've been in New Jersey how long now?
I've lived in New Jersey almost 6 years now.
Okay, enough to know the hotspots, and you're learning the new hotspots. Now you're here in the Northern Valley area. All right, we've been seeing a massive New York City, New Jersey movement. Before this whole perception of the recent election, I'm talking about way before that. Being on the New Jersey side of on the other side of the bridge and the tunnels and all that, we've always had a good traffic coming from, I always call them Manhattanites. People, they love to go in the city when they're young, and then as they get a little older, maybe they'll go to Jersey City, Hoboken, start having families, and they'll move further to suburbia. That's how I've seen the pattern. And so people in New Jersey want to go back to New York. I've seen that as well, and why I got my New York license. So we're about perhaps to have an explosion, a little bit uplifted here in New Jersey as an exit from New York to New Jersey or to Florida and the other states. Again, all perception. But what are you seeing? I know it's short-lived.
It's not perception. It is reality. But let me give you some professional clarity on what that reality really is. Headlines, as you know, in today's world, move everything. So now, it's not specifically the headlines that are causing the migration. It's New Jersey that's causing the migration. It's what New Jersey is offering. Now, migration. I don't know if that's the right word for it. So let's take the totality of our area. We have a housing shortage in the New York City metro area.
In New York City.
New York City and the
With all
metro
those
area.
high-rises?
The entire metro area, meaning all suburbs surrounding New York City,
Okay.
not exclusive
And
New
the
Jersey.
population is constantly
Westchester,
increasing.
Long Island, New Jersey, even in Fairfield County, Connecticut. What we're seeing at times are that these headlines accentuate these people who are coming out, and you see pops in the amount of people that come out at a time.
Like COVID.
Like COVID. Now, let's talk about apples to apples, because we're seeing a lot in the news. Are we expecting the kind of outward migration that we saw during COVID to the suburbs, specifically in New Jersey? I do not think we are going to see the volume of people, but on the flip side, inventory is much less than it was at that time. So a little bit less of a migration, but even less inventory could create even more competition.
More hype.
Hold on, even more. We've seen 2 rate reductions over the last few months that the entire national market has been very eager for. In COVID, some people were fortunate to get rates at sub 3. Now, you're fortunate if you can get a rate at sub 6. Now that that's a realistic possibility, and you could probably echo this even better than I can, the competition for the New Jersey houses is only going to get harder.
For the buyers.
For the buyers. Now,
Go ahead.
don't take it away from New York City either. New York City is still going to be hard as well. This area is challenged, but the most challenged area are going to be the hotspot suburbs over the next 12 to 18 months.
New York City is resilient. So as much
Always.
as people want to leave Manhattan, who's been there a while, there's always the new generation that wants to come in and they want to live the new Manhattan lifestyle, and they're going to hang out for 10 years or so.
It's a world city.
It's a carousel.
Correct.
Right? And then New Jersey becomes attractive. Look at the camera, and I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 3 reasons why New Jersey. 1,
Outdoor space.
2,
Accessibility to New York City.
and 3.
Accessibility to the rest of the country.
Love your answers. So we're about to wrap up this off market with our guest Jason Naggiar.
Naggiar.
Naggiar. I'll get it. I'll get it one day.
We're getting
And
there.
this is what we call a rapid fire round. This or that, fast, fun, or no overthinking. You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Okay. You need my notes. And get yourself comfortable. Sit back, relax.
Need my beer for this.
Have a sip. Cheers, by the way. And I'll join you afterwards for the beer. I think Evan might have spiked my coffee.
Is that a espresso martini in a mug?
Okay, ready? Rapid fire round. 1. Manhattan or Alpine, New Jersey?
Manhattan.
Penthouse or townhouse?
Townhouse.
Here's a good one. New York City bagel or New Jersey bagel?
New York City bagel.
Totally agree with you. Data or instinct?
Data.
Okay. Golf or basketball?
Golf.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Ridgewood or Montclair?
Ridgewood.
Franklin Lakes or Saddle River?
Saddle River.
I agree. New development or historical charm?
New development.
Good. Buyers or sellers?
Both.
That's what I was thinking. Walk up or elevator?
Walk up.
There you go. Suburbia. Let's see. Early morning or late nights?
Early morning.
You're getting old.
Always.
Really? All right. Midtown direct or car ride?
Car ride.
Yeah, we spoke about that earlier. Price or location?
Location.
New York City skyline or suburbia sunsets?
New York City skyline.
Closing day, cigar or champagne?
Champagne.
Good answer. Is there anything else you want to tell us? Your takeaway, anything you want to end up with this podcast?
Takeaway is that no, I don't really have a takeaway.
Good. I'll give you mine. Sitting here today on the podcast, it's probably the first time since you've been here I got to spend a little bit of time with you. Got to dive a little deep into who you are. And you're definitely an asset to this team, and we're excited to have you to grow with us as we continue to grow. So that's it. That's a wrap for Off the Market, and it's Jason Naggiar.
Naggiar?
I'm going to go with Naggiar.
There you go. You can call me whatever you want.
Okay, and if you're looking for New York properties or New Jersey, let's give me your number.
917-972-1790.
Okay, that's it. It's a wrap. Thank you very much.
Market, that's the deal.